said the body as a machine, and on the right, the body as a garden. So, you know, this is just a way of showing that in the West, which is on the left, tend to see the body as being separate from nature, whereas in the East, it's really totally one with nature. We are composed of nature. We're a microcosm of nature. And we'll definitely talk a little more about that later, just a little bit later. So there's this separateness, but there's also, one of the major differences is this idea of the body as being composed of parts. That it's kind of this reductionist scientific view, that if we can reduce everything to its smallest parts, then when something's not going right, we can take out that one part and replace it, and everything will work okay again. You know, so, and with that comes this view that of this uniformity, that we're all kind of made the same, all of our parts are the same, everything's interchangeable and replaceable. And there's also a firm division between the mind and the body. So, so those are three things. The humans are separate from nature, there's this reductionist, we're made of parts view, this division between the mind and the body, and the fourth thing is that there's this really kind of, it's new, relatively new view, but you know, in our lifetimes it's been, you know, since we've been alive, this theory of germs and a single cause of illness. Once that, you know, bacteria and viruses were discovered, and then antibiotics were discovered, there became this like big wave of, you know, if we can isolate the one cause and we can apply the one treatment, that's it, you know. So that's really different. It overlooks that there could be a multitude of causative factors, you know, in illness. So that's kind of the Western view. So there is a tendency to emphasize the way people are similar rather than the way people are unique. In Eastern medicine, there's, as you see here, this body is a garden, very much a view of we are composed of the elements. As you can see, there's water there, there's space, there are mountains, there's earth. We are composed of similar properties, as you can see in nature. There's also the whole view of saying the word holistic. What that really means, maybe you know what that means, but I'll just say it again, is the sense that while we are composed of parts, no part can be understood except in relationship to the greater whole. So it's really like we're very short-sighted if we only look at one part and to the exclusion of the whole. So holistic medicine is really concerned with the whole person. That's why I'll show you my health intake at the end. But we really ask a lot of questions. It's very, very detailed, and everything is important. You know, we really gather a lot of information to understand. Again, like I said, we're looking at patterns and cycles, and the more information, the better. That we can really see, well, what's happening, what's changing, how is it moving, how is it changing. So then, how can we kind of get into this, and what can we shift? You know, important for that person. So much more interested in patterns and relationships, not parts. Even with the organs, when we learn about organ theory and how the organs work and their functionality, while we learn about them, of course, at first, you know, one by one, then the very next thing is really learning how they're all relating to each other. The lungs and the kidney have a very special relationship. The heart and the kidney has a special relationship. The liver and the spleen, and how they're working together. And it's very rare, if ever, that there's a single cause. I mean, you know, of course, and I'm not denying that bacteria exist or viruses exist. Of course they do. But to say that they are the only cause of something is really, I think it's missing a lot of other important information. So that's East and Western view.